Hello, everyone. This is CPAD back with another Exceed commentary. Right off the bat, I can notice that my board is off center, and I'll fix that. But anyways, we've got another partial match because I'm trying to split. I'm obviously trying to split these up to maximize revenue, and also kind of keep the video short. Now, where these guys have agreed to play game one of their week three pool set, and I think they're gonna play two and three at a games two, and if there is a game three at a later time. So here we have just a little one-off match here between. I should have asked him if it was Picklesword or Picklesword. We're just gonna call him Pick. We're gonna call him Pickle and Silver. So we got a match between either Picklesword or Picklesword, depending on how you read this, and SilverHakkero. So I think Pickle's sword. I think I've actually seen this. I saw one of his matches in the last tournament, and SilverHakkero was actually mentioning how this is his first tournament, so this should be an interesting match. Pickle's calling first. He's going to be on the Treasure Knight. If you guys saw any footage of the last tournament, especially in the later rounds, you'd see Chica absolutely tearing it up with the Treasure Knight. And we have Silver here on the Ragna, who was a really popular pick in the last tournament. Not so much in this tournament. So this is gonna be interesting because these are kind of two. I guess you can call them tanky characters. Ragna does a lot of trading, and he gains life on hit. And Treasure just kind of has some boosts and some tanky cards, right? Like Anchor Launch, a lot of defense there. And then where's the boost? There's a little armor boost. Here's High Tide +2 armor, and here's the diving suit. So this should be an interesting match. Looks like Treasure Knight will be going first. I gotta remember not to move the camera around too much. Does that seem okay? Yeah, I really should have said. I was talking about setting presets earlier today, and then I never did. Um, this looks fine. It is what it is. This is like I said, this is only a one-off game, and then they're gonna play the other remaining part of the set later. So it looks like Treasure Knight prepared turn one. Ragnar striking immediately. Ragnar actually has some decent options from range 4. Let's see what he picks. Looks like he just went for the Hell's Fang against the Focus from Treasure Knight. So it doesn't get the push, but it will be Ragnar's advantage. So, and he will actually get the healing off the innate right away, since. Actually, no, he will not get the innate, since Ragnar will hit first, and then. Focus will hit back after this trigger is already gone. But yeah, not the worst combat for both players. Treasure gets a gauge, which is pretty important because the flip, the exceed side. So let's actually take a look at Treasure Knight's ability card right away. So you can generate one force for free during a strike, which is fine. Interesting. Sweep. Oh no, EX sweep in response. This is the worst. This is the absolute worst. When your sweep gets EX swept in response, like that is. Oh no, you hate to see that. You hate to see that because EX so sweep gets stunned by EX sweep, which is just such a huge swing, and you lose the card on top of that as Ragnar. So big early lead for Treasure Knight here, already having 2 gauge, and as I was mentioning before that combat started, is Treasure just boosts defend. So Treasure Knight can generate 1 force for free during strikes. When he flips, he can generate 1 force for free whenever, which is super important because if you take a look at his kit here, you'll notice that every single thing costs 1, and those all become free. Ragnar crossing out of the focus, going back to further range. So this cross will actually do no damage, and Ragnar will heal 1 in return. Ragnar stepping back to starting positions here. And like I said, does heal off the 1. Treasure just opting to prepare. Ragna, in turn, does the same. Treasure with a full hand. Does have a couple options from range 4. Although it does not have the Ultra online yet, Angry Recall. But of course can Anchor Launch is 3-6 2-5 with 2-5 to fill with like very strong defenses. Treasure Coin can also theoretically hit. Ragna, on the other hand, does have some good, decent range 4 options. He has the Hell's Fang, which was used on turn 1. He has Dead Spike, which is similar line to Spike, except it's got the extra range. And then he's got the Gauntlet Hades as well. Okay, interesting response. Ragna chooses to spend a gauge to walk forward 1 to range 3. Treasure immediately setting a face down card there. EX in response from Ragna. Oh no, that is this was a hard read here, playing EX Spike on defense. It doesn't work out. EX Spike will of course miss because the assault comes in. He takes only 3 damage at least because he has 1 armor from the EX, but that's a lot of resources gone. That's 2 cards from the hand. Both Spikes, obviously not the most important combat card in a lot of cases, but still, just seeing that happen is really unfortunate. Maybe Treasure thinking about exceeding right away? And he's got such a heavy life lead, I don't think it's a bad play. Yep, and he chooses to flip. So on flip, he can pull up to 3, and he can generate a force for free whenever. And choosing where to pull, obviously started here, so you can choose a range of 1, 2, or 3. Opts for range 2 here. And draws a card for end of turn. Huge life lead and huge resource lead on the Treasure Knight side. Plus already having flipped, like this is going to be a comeback from Ragna, and this is why that innate is so good. So you can generate 1 force for free. So this boost is cost 0, and he can spend 1 force instead of 2 for +3 armor on his next combat. So this is where the tankiness of Treasure Knight comes in, what we were discussing at the start of the match, where Treasure Knight is surprisingly tanky, you know, because of these boosts. And now that these boosts are free, that's just very good value. Let's see how Ragna will be able to deal with this. Down 11 life, but you can't count Ragna out with his innate healing. Okay, maybe think of... Oh, okay. Choosing to strike into this. And the choosing to strike into the +3 armor is a little scary here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have dive. Dive faster. We'll dive over the Gauntlet Hades. Oh, Gauntlet Hades would not have. I thought this was an advanced 2. It's only advanced 1 or 2. So dive jumps over. Gauntlet Hades. Ragna's forced to advance closer. Treasure's in the corner now. But no damage taken because of dive. That was an interesting one. That's Treasure obviously predicting, or Treasure probably predicting the slow there. Okay, and what do we have here? We have Secure Vault. Oh no, we have not Secure Vault. So this is another. I don't know why he tilted it sideways. If he was whatever. So Treasure Knight, excuse me. Treasure Knight can generate force for free. For the action, for like move action or change cards action as well. So that's why he only spent 2 force to move 1, 2, 3 spaces. Pretty insane actually. Like this is like a Ryu, and you know, it's just like a bunch of. If you think about it, it's like 3 UAs stacked into 1. Okay, Ragna in turn boosting Azure Grimoire, spending 4 HP, so he's going to be able to draw 4 cards. This boost I definitely like to see a little bit earlier, but I guess he just didn't draw 1, judging by how much he was preparing earlier in the game. So he's got 4 cards, and he gets to, of course, take another action as well. So unfortunately that life deficit does get much larger with that boost, but Ragnar really needed the options, right? He only had 3 cards in his hand at the start of the turn. He's really starved for options here. One important thing this movement with this Ultra did was that Treasure Knight is now out of the corner, and Ragna's now basically in the corner. So jockeying for position is very important in this game. Okay, opts for +1 power and stun immunity. So he's going for a big hit. Does this mean Treasure just face strikes with cross? In response to that, shuffles the hand. I like this a lot. You should shuffle your hand quite often. I personally shuffle my hand every turn at the end of every turn, even in casuals, just so like my opponent doesn't know. I feel like this is the cross coming out from Pickle here. Can you hard read cross? Can Ragnar hit Rage 5? Actually, don't know. Carnage Scissors can hit, but no gauge, unfortunately. Yeah, no, you can't really hit range 5 with Ragna very easily. Yep, and there's the cross. Blood Scythe moves them a little bit closer, but doesn't really do very much. Ragna will get hit for 3. Treasure Knight's out of there. At least Ragna gets to range 4 with this combat. With the before advance 1, because he's not stunned. Cross only does 3 damage, obviously. And on top of that, he gets stun immunity. But it's a lot of resources kind of wasted there, right? Because that's 1 card for the boost, 1 card to pay for the boost, and now the 3rd card for the combat. And on top of that, like, all Treasure had to do was cross out, and he gets it engaged, right? And let's be honest, we saw that coming from a mile away. But still, this is looking really tough. Okay, Ragna choosing. So this is peculiar. This is the second time Ragna has decided to move from range 4 to range 3. I wonder what the reasoning behind that is. So last time he did that to play EX Spike on defense, which was a play. It was, I don't think it was a very high percent. You know what? I won't call it. It's not a bad play. But it's a read that didn't really work out. Treasure, I hope that was a change card 0 on the Treasure side. That's one thing you have to do. You have to abuse the UA as much as possible. So if you change card 0 as Treasure Knight, and then spend the 1 force for free, it's basically a change cards 1 and you draw 2. It's the same as a prepare, but it's way more stylish. So I will choose to believe that is a change card 0 action from Treasure Knight. Silver looking through the discard, maybe looking for a reading here. 12 cards left in deck. I feel like we haven't seen a ton of normals come out. Actually, no, we've seen a decent amount of normals come out. We've seen a cross come out. We've seen regular assault come out. We've seen a dive come out, and we've seen a spike, maybe 2 spikes. So there's not a lot to read here. A lot of slows left in the deck, and here's the reading. This is probably like a reading on. See, the thing is, it can't be like a reading. I'm assuming he's just gonna read like Grasp or something. Try to hit him. So that's an EX. Wow, this is gonna be okay. Reading successful. Yeah, it reads the Grasp, and it's EX Assault. Okay. Curious decision to spend the EX here. It's really expensive, right? Especially on, look, he only, like, this is 3 cards spent. And of course the life swing is pretty decent. I mean, it's a 6 life swing with Ragnar healing 1 and dealing 5 damage. But the EX was a little bit of a, yeah, it's too much, especially with only 1 card in hand. This is just gonna be a prepare action, right? Yeah, Ragnar has to prepare. It doesn't really have the resources to even change cards. If there was a second Azure Grimoire, I could see it. Okay, so this is Treasure Knight spending 1 force for free to move back 1, preferring range 2 very clearly to range 1 here. But yeah, curious decision to EX Assault. It's very expensive. Just for 1 extra damage, and I'm not sure if it's gonna bite him. But we've been harping on this all game. But the Treasure's just always had way more cards in hand than Ragna. Ragna striking again. Okay, let's see it. It's gonna, okay, takes it back. Okay, I will allow it. Choosing a different card to play. Didn't shuffle his hand curiously. Shuffle your hand right away, sir. Pickle thinking about what to play here. I'm sorry. In the haste, we didn't actually get to go over the cards here, but these two players are playing pretty quickly. Just opts for the block into the Gauntlet Hades, ignoring armor. That's a little bit of a blow up, so this will be 4 damage coming in for treasure. And notably, block is super good on Treasure Knight because he can generate that 1 force for free, so he gets a 4 armor block right away without even spending anything. But nice hard read here from the Ragna side. And like I said before, this is Ragna slowly catching up as far as life differentials are concerned. You know, you can never count Ragna out with the UA of gaining a life because his trading potential just becomes insane because of this. Boosting salvage operation, little power, little armor, and a little bit of card recursion as well. So let's see what. I mean, this is just a very solid. Even if it didn't have the card recursion, this is +1 power, +1 armor. It's a pretty. It's not a bad boost. It's like fine, and with the possibility for recursion, this is actually a pretty decent boost, all things considered. When it's free, when it costs 1, definitely a little painful on the treasure side. Although he's had cards for days. Treasure maybe thinking about striking here. Ragnar just prepared on his turn. Ragnar saving gauge, not opting for change cards. Maybe we see, although these ultras don't really do much in this scenario with an unexceeded Ragnar at range 1. These ultras are not, they're not doing anything. Maybe saving up for flipping. Let's see. Ragnar's slowly clawing his way back into this game. Let's see if Treasure Knight can snuff that out. Because what was a 15 HP health differential is now only down to 7. Pickle kind of taking his time here. These two players have been playing relatively quickly, although to be fair, I feel like I've been casting. Actually, no, the game I casted earlier today, they were pretty quick as well. They're not like me, that's for sure. Or that 20-minute video I uploaded yesterday where it took 20 minutes for 2 combats. EX attack coming out. A lot of hand information in discard. We should kind of be able to narrow this down. In response, just a block and EX Scuttle Slams. This is 7 speed, 4 damage with the hit effect of pushing 1, and also the 5 damage. Because of the +1 power here, and with the effect of recursion, and can push up to 2 for 1 force and push 1 for free. Looks like he just opts for the push 1, choosing what card to recur before Ragna decides what to spend to mitigate any damage with the block. Opts to return diving suit to hand, so this is an interesting card to return just because it actually can hit from here. Actually, no, I believe it costs 3. Yeah, we only have 2 gauge here, so maybe this is gonna be a boost diving suit for extra armor in the future. Maybe next strike even. Just a good solid boost to keep in hand. Not kind of a little bit of a situational ultra in my opinion. But it can do a ton of damage if the opponent's in the right spot, right? Looks like Ragna is going to take the 1. Has 4 gauge. Let's see if he chooses to exceed. Although, if he exceeds, he is kind of... He can draw 1. So it'd be up to 3 cards. And with the possibility... The exceed's a little bit of a double-edged sword where you can hurt yourself, but you can also... you can also heal for big amounts. Instead, opts to boost Soul Eater. I've actually never seen this boost before. Close 1 and draw 1, and on hit, gain 2 life. So this could be a really big life swing. If Ragna is able to hit Treasure Knight here, he'll gain 3 life off his combat. Diving Suit comes out in response. That's the +3 armor for 1 force. Pretty good. Kind of ensuring that these 2 guys will be brawling for a little bit longer. See how Ragnar responds to this. A lot of resource, a lot of gauge to work with. Opting to prepare again. Okay, interesting. Maybe he likes that gauge a little bit too much. Wants to succeed in the near future. Would be my guess. What's going on here? Oh, I think he just didn't stack his card properly. Okay, yeah. Looking at decks, I don't really think we need to be looking at decks too much for other than for seeing what cards are left. Because life totals are pretty low. I don't think deck out's going to be a factor here. But it's important to note Ragnar is down to only 10 cards left in hand in decks, so there's a lot of information to be gleaned there from the Treasure Knight side, maybe a little bit less from the Ragnar side. But it's important to note what options are left and what options have been expended completely. What's treasure thinking about here? I wonder if we see something like the second cross, like if he has the second cross come out as a combat card, below curve here against Ragna, just to kind of Ragna's a lot of slow tradey cards, so just to try to deny him the +3 healing here, maybe this would be a cross. That's my read anyway. Yeah, it is. It does kind of waste the ultra boost a little bit. So maybe it's not that. Just because he did ultra boost this in response to the first boost, right? Maybe it's not cross. Okay, sweep into dive charge. Okay, dive charge. Huh. Okay. So this will be a 4 power dive charge. And Ragnar will obviously take 4, but then heal 3 back, and then we'll deal 3 in return. So big, you got big looking numbers here that actually don't amount to a lot of damage just because these two characters are so tanky. Ragnar heals 3, and we'll deal 3 damage and yoink a card out. Yep. They're just resolving. That's the +3 armor. Obviously, he has to spend 1 force. Ragnar now with a ton of gauge. Let's see how he decides to use it. Looking at that exceed side, maybe thinking about flipping. Life deficit only now down to 6 from 15. So Ragnar's definitely making this comeback look good. Certainly making it closer than the game first looked like at the start. Ragnar checking, both players checking each other's discards. Interesting here. Maybe I will check the discards at a later time. Maybe when one of them plays like an EX or something. Oh, Silver is AFK. Okay, that is okay. Luckily, we will put on our AFK music because we definitely have that ready. Okay, hopefully this doesn't take too long because I don't have any material prepared for this break, and nor am I prepared to actually entertain you guys during this break. Maybe we will cut the video here. If it takes too long, we can cut it and then just chop it up and splice it together. If this break takes too long, because I'm not gonna lie, I really don't have the energy to talk about nothing and fill a break for an extended period of time. So hopefully it comes right back. Well, to be fair, I guess that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just filling time talking about literally nothing, and it's already been like a minute and a half or something. But I guess we'll do the Terenkin slash D spiel here of why don't you go ahead and get up and drink some water. I know this is a YouTube video, not a stream, so it doesn't really apply nearly as well here, especially because this is not live content. This is you sitting at a screen in the future listening to this. But why don't you go up and get some water? It's been half an hour. You should be drinking. I don't know the stats on how much water you need to drink in half an hour, but it's not zero. So I think you should. Why don't you get up and drink some water while we wait for Silver to return? I've actually just done the same here. You know what? We can go ahead. Why don't we go ahead and look at Ragnar's cards while we have this little bit of this downtime here, and we'll look at Treasure Knight's kit as well. So we have what we have here. We have a standard uppercut, 1 to 2, notably costs 1 force. Puts us 5 damage on initiation, with a little bit of a push effect, which can be handy. Unrelenting, pretty solid boost. +1 power, Sun Immunity, does cost 1. Look at this card, beautiful. I'm just gonna make sure he's not back yet. Okay, he's not. We'll keep an eye on his little mouse cursor there. We've got Hell's Fang, which was used turn 1 as a turn 1 combat. 1/4/4. It's got dive stats on it with the game advantage. It's an okay card. Foul Tempered, +1 power, +2 armor. Just reinforces the tankiness of Ragna. Can spend 2 life to draw 1. I don't think I've actually seen anyone opt to spend 2 life to draw 1. Normally I feel like the conversion ratio is 1 to 1. So it's a little bit expensive. Okay, Silver is back. We got Dead Spike, which just has spike stats, but hits at range 4. We got Gauntlet Hades, which is ignore armor as long as you're not in range 1. So it's like another spike basically. Revolver action gives you a little bit extra draw. Got +1 speed with a hit effect of pushing, and we got Blood Scythe, which trades pretty well with a lot of things. Only 5 damage and with no armor, so not the best trading, but with the innate, it ends up trading pretty well, and also extra gauge building. And the ultras, Divide by Darkness, nothing special on front side, but when Ragnar succeeded, this looks a little bit better. Performs pretty well. Above curve at range 3, and of course the life swings on it's pretty good. I don't really consider healing to be on the same par as damage. I don't think it's like an exact 1 to 1 conversion from healing to damage, but it's pretty close. So this is like an 8 damage life swing on hit, and Azure Grimoire, great boost. And Carnage, you know what Carnage is, you can just read that. It's a close 4 with 3 speed. Anyway, we are missing strikes here. Apologies for that. It looks like a Hell's Fang into a block. So, yep. As I said before, Treasure Knight's blocks, super good. Just gets that 4 armor in for free. And Ragnar will push to gain advantage. Both players now low on cards. This could make a difference. Maybe Exceed action comes out here from Ragnar here. Push a little bit of the resource advantage that he does have right now. Yep. Pickle just pointing out that Silver forgot to tick 1 health up. Really, that should be my job to point out, but Pickle on top of it. Yep. Here's the Exceed. So this should be in the Overdrive area and not the Exceed because he's a Season 4 character. So yeah, on Overdrive, Ragnar gets to close up to 1, draw 1, and strike. And let's look at the backside here. So on hit, you get +1 power, gain 2 life. Doesn't Ragnar strike on flip? Yeah, he does. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a game state error here. I'm sure these players will just resolve it right away. Yeah, looks like they got it. So yeah. So Ragnar, when he flips, he draws one, he can close up to one, and now chooses to strike. Yep. Okay, this looks resolved to me. These players were moving a little bit too quickly there, but luckily we caught it. So yeah, Ragnar backside, as I was saying, hit +1 power, gain 2 life. However, he does hurt himself whenever he ODs. So I probably shouldn't say it like that. Whenever he overdrives, like, I'm so used to calling overdrive OD that that came out not great. But yeah, he takes 1 non-lethal damage and can reposition the enemy here. So yeah, I like this timing on exceeding definitely. Treasure Knight only down to 2 cards left in hand. And yeah, this is Ragnar pushing the button, only down 5 life. Suddenly, not looking terrible for Ragnar, and Treasure Knight maybe caught on a little bit of an awkward hand here. Let's see what the response is here from Pickle. This is definitely a very pivotal combat here, especially when Ragnar succeeded. The life swings can get really out of control if he's able to hit quite a bit. Pardon the bad English. I just wanted to make sure Ragnar flip is strike? Question mark. Amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure they caught that before the game state got too out of control, which it looks like it was kind of heading towards. But anyway, this is a strike from Ragnar. Pickle, yeah, he's just looking at the kit here to see what he could possibly get hit by. The 1366 Ultra is not online. Carnage Scissors is, but I don't think this is Carnage Scissors for obvious reasons. Okay, Pickle just going for the wild swing, and we have focus into cross. Okay, Treasure Knight gets out. That is unfortunate for Ragnar. I mean, now he's got distance, so now that Carnage Scissors doesn't look so bad. But the focus whiffs, draws a card at least, but does not get the healing. And Treasure Knight's now at range 5. A little bit too far away for a lot of things to hit from Treasure's side, but Carnage Scissors does hit from this range. Yeah, and cross to hit. I would have caught that, obviously. Yep, definitely on top of that. Okay, Treasure going for the change card 0. Ragnar. Overdrive. Yep, overdrive first, so he can push 1 and he takes 1 damage. And immediately sets EX Carnage Scissors. I like this. Let's see what the response to EX Carnage Scissors is for a Treasure. Believe both blocks are down. So we'll probably just try to mitigate damage with like an armor move or something. Or like wild swing. Like surely this is EX Carnage Scissors. I don't believe we've seen one of those yet. Striking from hand, okay. Maelstrom chests, we forgot about this. Wait, how does this work? I have no idea how this interaction works. What? So this is so the range is calculated from the center of the arena. And attacks at range 4 or 5 do not hit you. I have no idea how this interaction works, by the way. Like, I have zero idea how this works. Maybe gotta ask someone in the chat. So Carnage Scissors says that attacks at range 4 or 5 do not hit you, but this calculates range from the center space of the arena. So my immediate ruling would be that this. So because the range is calculated from the center space of the arena, that this would hit, and then Carnage Scissors doesn't matter. But I'm not 100% sure. Looks like they're playing it out like that. I mean, I have I hope that's how it works, because I have no idea how that works. But that makes sense to me, because the attack originates from here, right? So that's not a range 4 or 5 attack. Wow, what a sneaky interaction! I didn't even know that. And like I said, we're gonna roll with it. Hopefully that's correct. That seems correct to me. Um, like that interaction seems correct to me. It kind of sucks that that's something that both me and apparently Silver missed. Uh, that's wild to me. I've never seen that kind of interaction before. Now Ragnar down to 4 life. This is looking tough. A treasure coin. We'll dive right, jump right into treasure coin's range. So Ragnar will be down to 1 HP here. Oh no, Ragnar's dead because of the before effect on treasure coin. I apologize for that. That I definitely should not have missed that. But yeah, GG's. Wow, the little nuance. That's what I'm saying. Like the while low tier heroes do not function, are not supposed to function nearly as well as the high tier characters, right? That's why they're low tier. Sometimes the little matchup nuances they have to keep in track and keep in mind, and that's one that Pickle caught that neither me nor Silver or I knew about, right? So that's just a little quirk about Exceed, about this Ragna treasure matchup that for those of you Treasure Knight players watching, that's how you defeat Carnage. It's just reaction Maelstrom chest it, right? That is sick. GG's, well played. Ragna was definitely looking really good until that combat, though, I must say. Ragna was looking really, really solid. The early game was really, really bad, but he brought it back to. I wouldn't quite call it an even. I wouldn't really call it even at the end, but Ragna was fine. He wasn't in danger of losing the game, but that Maelstrom chest into the EX Carnage Scissors, wow, what a play. Anyways, I think they're not gonna play. I don't think they're gonna play the remainder of their games right now. I know Pickle said he had to leave at 7:40 his time. I also don't remember what time zone he was in, but it's 9:45 Eastern. So if he's like in Colorado or something, he's got to go now, and they'll probably play their games later, if I had to imagine. And hopefully someone else or myself or someone else will record the conclusion of the set. But this was a really interesting game one. Like I said, Treasure looked really good early, but Ragnar brought it back. Very interesting game. So yeah, it looks like they're not gonna play more. If they are, I'll just cut this part of the video and we'll go again for game 2. But okay, yeah, looks like they're done, and it looks like I am done too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know it sucks to see only partial games of sets. Like I wish I could bring you like a full set, right? Instead of just a partial game. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. I can't bring you the full set this time. Hopefully someone else is able to record the rest of it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I should probably tell you guys to like the video and subscribe, right? I mean, that seems only appropriate. So if you did like the content, give it a like, maybe give it a little bit of a signal boost. But I do appreciate you guys watching these. I enjoy making these commentaries. I don't really play the game so much anymore, but I do enjoy watching the game more than anything. More than playing. Is that weird? I enjoy watching the game more than I enjoy playing it at times. Actually, almost all the time. But yeah, I'm just happy to share all these tournament matches with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching these. And yeah, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. I don't really do the spiels. I don't really know what else there's to do. Maybe leave a comment. Leave the comment of what is your favorite Exceed character. I guess that you know what, don't leave a comment. It's okay. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye bye.